On the beat.
The world leads the liberal democratic values of Europe, values that the United Kingdom shares. And that is why, while we are leaving the institutions of the European Union.
So do you think that the indigenous people of Biafra have the same problem of value system, have the same problem with Nigeria?
Well, the indigenous people of Biafra situation is even worse than what is obtainable in Britain, according to the British Prime Minister May.
Yeah.
Why do I say this? It is during the amalgamation, Frederick Lugard noticed it, and he wrote on a memo to the British government that these people so amalgamated are like oil and water that never mix it.
Yes.
But he went ahead to concoct and amalgamate Nigeria, to call it Nigeria, without considering the value systems that is prevalent within the vicinity of these indigenous people. If you go to the north, they have a foodwares mechanism whereby you have the emir, you have the people serving at the caliphate, and you also have those who are like the servant. Their value system is feudalism, where one person controls everybody while other people can come to their houses in the evening to pray and eat and go home. Whereas in the Biafran territory, we are a republican people. When you go to the western part of Nigeria, you see the people, the Yorubas, with their monarchical system of government, which is a different value system also. So when you look at it, you see that these divergent value systems are completely irreconcilable. So what Theresa May is saying is to buttress the fact that we have always been shouting here that the hypocrisy of the British, the hypocrisy of the international community, the hypocrisy of the African Union, the hypocrisy of the United Nations. Their hypocrisy is that they see that what bothers the people of Biafra is glaringly clear, but they will come to Nigeria and they will behave as if everything is normal. It is very, very wrong, because the people of Biafra have suffered more serious injuries because of the value system that they do not have in common with the people that they share one geographical contiguity called Nigeria. So
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Kalag. Of course, you have established the fact here that the people of Biafra do not share value system with the rest of Nigerians.
Yes.
So that one is very clear. So right now, Theresa May last week came to Nigeria. They talk about the trade and the security relationship with Nigeria,
yes,
you know, to strengthen their relationship. So as it is, Theresa May visited Nigeria after they have concluded to leave European Union. What do you think?
It is still that same hypocrisy that I'm still hammering on. It is hypocritical for Theresa May to be leaving the EU and at the same time coming to Abuja to tell Nigerians that the British people have supported an exit before, but it didn't favor them. Therefore, they will not support an exit again. That was her message in Nigeria. That is a coded message telling the people that even if your agitation is as loud as what, they will never listen to you, because they believe that it is only the British people or the Europeans that have the right to self-determination. They conducted a referendum for the Scottish people.
Yeah.
They conducted a referendum for the British people to leave the EU, but they signed a military pact and send their soldiers to train Nigerian military to kill indigenous people of Biafra, seeking the same self-determination that the British people are seeking to opt out of the European Union. So that is the hypocrisy. Now you see Theresa May coming all the way from Britain to Abuja without even asking the whereabouts of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is a British citizen. Yes. I have seen where the British government went to the terrorist enclave to save their citizen from Saudi Arabia or Yemen. But a Biafran who is also a British citizen has been missing for 1 year, but Theresa May has never said a word about it. All her interest is to send ammunition, guns and bullets to Buhari to kill the indigenous people of Biafra for expressing their God-given inalienable right to be free, to self-determination. The indigenous people of Biafra has never carried a gun. The indigenous people of Biafra has never killed anybody. The indigenous people of Biafra has been relatively peaceful in the agitation. The only crime that the indigenous people of Biafra is committing is holding the Biafran flag and singing. And the Theresa May coming all the way from Britain to Abuja, she has never for once mentioned the massacre of Christians going on in Nigeria on daily basis. Theresa May, the British Prime Minister, could not for once talk about the enslavement or the killings by the Fulani herdsmen killing worshippers and their priests in the church. It is the British people that gave us this Christianity. It is the British people that brought their own civilization to dilute the Biafran way of life. And in 2018, the people of Biafra are being killed. But the British people that gave us the Anglican Church can never defend the people of Biafra. So what you see happening is a total British conspiracy to strangulate and to enslave the people of Biafra in perpetuity.
Using the Fulani as
a willing tool. Because if you check, you see that Nigeria is not even a country. Nigeria is a geographical area discovered by the British that it is very, very rich in mineral resources. So they use the military. Check the history of Nigerian military. You see that Nigerian military has been in existence for a very long time before the creation of Nigeria itself. So what you see in Nigeria is not a country, rather it is a zoo arranged by the British in order to continue to suck the natural resources. So that is the issue which every Biafran must stand up to challenge.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kalak. Of course, you made your point very clear. Yes, Theresa May, the British Prime Minister, visited Nigeria, and we want to understand the main message she brought to Nigeria right now.
Thank you for this basic question, because this question is very, very important for our audience, our viewers, to understand the message that Theresa May, representing the British government, came to deliver in Abuja. Before I go on to analyze the message, I want to give a background that in 1884-1885, there was a Berlin conference whereby the European, Germany, France, Britain and others, they sat and they shared Africa to their benefit, to make profit. Okay, now, in 2018, we have seen the French president visited Nigeria. We have also seen Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor, visited Nigeria. We have also seen Theresa May, the British Prime Minister, visited Nigeria. We must understand that in 1914, when Frederick Lugard succeeded in amalgamating the North and the South, because the reason for the amalgamation was that the North was barren and the administrative activities of the British were not being implemented efficiently because there is no resources in the North. So Frederick Lugard decided to amalgamate the North and the South in order to use the huge resources in the South in order to prosecute the British administration in the North. That is the reason why Nigeria was created, because of resources. If not for resources issues, we wouldn't have been talking about Nigeria today. There wouldn't have been anything like Nigeria today. There would have been the same Biafra that has existed for thousands of years. Okay, after the amalgamation, he wrote a memo and told the British people that these people that were amalgamated are like oil and water that could never mix. That means there shouldn't have been Nigeria. Now, he said that since they could never mix, but we have to experiment this amalgamation for 100 years. And that 100 years expired on the 31st of December 2013. So from 1st of January 2014, Nigeria ceases to exist legally. So the coming of these people, this is the answer to your question. The coming of these people is to renew the contract, to renew the enslavement.
So that is why they are trooping in.
That is why they are coming. Although they will come and tell you Africa is the poverty, reading this, that. It is just a political story. But what lies on the ground is that they are renewing the enslavement of the indigenous people that were unfortunately trapped in the claw of Nigeria.
The question is, why are they doing it now? Because the indigenous people of Biafra are calling to visit Nigeria.
Yes,
why are they doing it?
They are doing it now because the oil in Biafra land, which they use at Nigeria, is the basics for the colonial foothold in Africa. So when they hold Nigeria enslavement, the whole of Africa will be enslaved forever. So if the indigenous people of Biafra succeeds in exiting this contraption called Nigeria to establish, to restore the sovereignty of Biafran state, you will see that the whole of Africa will witness a proportionate development within a period of time.
Thank you, Mr. Kalagu. So right now, the indigenous people of Biafra is fighting for their freedom.
Yes.
And these people are trooping in to Nigeria, trying to, based on what you are saying, they want to renew the amalgamation of 1914.
Yes.
So what is your advice to the indigenous people of Biafra in order to thwart their effort to keep Nigeria one now?
Well, the advice I give to myself as a Biafran and all Biafrans all over the world, friends of Biafra and those who loves freedom,
yes,
is to continue to push harder for the agitation to restore Biafra. Yes. We must continue to indulge in civil disobedience. We must boycott every Nigerian political activities
in totality.
We must boycott every Nigerian conducted elections in Biafra land. There is no how that we will use this civil disobedience without Nigeria crumbling. There is no how you can keep Nigeria one by force without the consent of those that constitute the Nigeria itself.
Yes.
So my advice to the indigenous people of Biafra is never you relent. Never you be violent. Continue with the peaceful agitation. Continue with the application of civil disobedience.
So, Mr. Kala, looking at it, so indigenous people of Biafra embark on this civil disobedience.
Yes.
So, if they boycott the election in totality,
yes.
So what do you think that will happen to Nigeria?
Nigeria will collapse, and Biafra will emerge.
There will be no political administration.
Of course, there will not be. There will never be any political activity, because democracy is all about the people, and the sovereignty belongs to the people. And if the people say, we do not want to give you our sovereignty, you have no other alternative. If the indigenous people of Biafra take up arms now, you will see that the British, the French, all this international community, they will supply arms to Nigeria to kill the indigenous people of Biafra.
Because of their oil
Because of their oil interest. They don't care about our welfare. So that is the reason why they have been pushing the indigenous people of Biafra to pick up arms, so that they will have reason to crush all the civilians. So what we should do is to continue using the non-violent means and continue to use
civil
disobedience
to dislodge Nigeria
and their allies. And they have no power over civil disobedience. Because civil disobedience is the only tool that puts the tyrant to where they really belong. To hear that you were gone.
We are here to ensure that the death of 3.5 million people is not forgotten.
It's been so long that I saw you face to face. My brother, I miss you. See you again in that grave. It's been so long that I saw that beautiful smile. Your death and your burial is one thing that makes me cry. It's been so long, I've been looking at this picture of you. You were shot by the soldiers, I remember.
It's been so long, I don't wanna see Biafra alone. It hurts my body and my soul to hear that you are gone now. Forget you, our fallen heroes will be incomplete.
If we forget those who died for our freedom, we will be complete. We will be complete.
They were shot and they died. We started asking why. The truth that they told us became another lie. That was no war, that was it. The genocide by Nigerian government and British genocide.
So long, I miss you. I will let the whole world know before I let you go.
It's been so long, I don't wanna see Biafra alone. It hurts my body and my soul to see that you are gone.
ensure that their memory, that they can never ever be forgotten, that their memory will linger on forever, that as long as man walks this earth, this world will remember the 3.5 million people that they killed, men and women that did nothing, children that were innocent. Their only crime is to be blessed by God. That is the only crime they have committed. As those children were being slaughtered, as they were being stabbed to death by a very wicked and cruel world, spearheaded by Awolowo, everybody looked on and did nothing. Instead of them to help us, they ensured that our absolute blockade from land, air, and sea was absolute, that we may die, that the children of God may die. But lo and behold, Chukwuabiama determined that we cannot die, that we cannot perish.
I will see you face to face, my brother. I miss you. See you again.